Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of the FauxShow. Today is Sunday, June 15th. My name is Angela.
And my name is Chris.
And as most of you know, the FauxShow is not a real show. It is a social experience because I don't look at you. I look at the chat room I have here on my iPad.
Oh, I've got the chat room full screen, almost screen.
It's over there on a monitor where we can see ourselves.
Oh, look at that. It is. That's nice. That's real nice. I like that a lot. Yeah, that's great. I think that's a really nice monitor. It's good high resolution.
It's on this monitor.
It doesn't matter. It's not over there at all. Actually, it's just down over there a little bit. You see it? But it's... Let's be honest. It's the best lower third right there. You can see it. If you're watching the video version of the FauxShow, you can see it right now for yourself. The best chat room in the world is contained over at jblive.tv in our lower third. Lower third is a technical term. You can look it up if you have any questions. And they have joined us on this Sunday to celebrate podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be honest, Ange. I think I might be addicted to them. And I don't just do podcasts. I listen to podcasts. In fact, I don't even really watch any TV for the most part. With exception
for
of 24.
Mm-hmm.
But
and Star Trek, which you've seen a million times.
Yeah, I mean, it's not current TV I'm watching.
Yeah.
So podcasts are it for me. So if you want to talk to somebody addicted to podcasts, you are looking at them.
Yep.
Right here. So where do we start?
There's my awesome teaser for today.
Nice.
Follow us on Instagram if you want to see teasers.
I do like to see teasers like that.
Made by my face.
Oh, that's nice. That one, right there.
This face.
Right there. So we got a list.
Yep. So we have 26. Well, and actually more than that. We have 26 reasons. No, let's see. What is it? Things that only podcast lovers understand.
And we're going to sprinkle it in with pics and anecdotes and all kinds of stuff for you guys. And I got a few podcasts that we'll mention at the end that I really love that I think you guys might want to check out that aren't JB related at all. Mm-hmm. Totally new podcasts. All right. Should we start?
Yep. Okay. So number 1, you must make sure your phone is charged before you leave the house.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And I'd like to point out, I don't actually listen to podcasts. As bad as this, I know, right? I do podcasts. I don't listen to podcasts.
Starting to get suspicious here.
I overhear podcasts.
Are you talking about my podcast?
But and I watch the live recordings of our shows.
Yeah.
But all of this applies to my love for music.
Oh, sure.
Okay?
Yeah.
I always make sure my phone is charged before I leave because I want to listen to music.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. For me too, I would add too that I make sure that my podcast feeds are refreshed while I'm still on Wi-Fi. So I'm not only my charge, but sometimes before I take the phone off the charger, I will refresh the feeds. That way I'm pulling down the new podcasts using wall power instead of battery power.
Hold the phone.
What?
Hold the phone.
What, Ange? What?
Bronwyn listens to 50 podcasts.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Wow. Oh, and count zero, is only addicted to us.
Wow. Now, Bronwyn, how many of those do you listen to live exclusively? Because I've noticed too, like there's certain podcasts, and I'm not trying to name names, but I'll just say like Windows Weekly is a podcast that I might listen to live to try to get the Microsoft perspective on something, but I don't ever download it because I'm not like that particularly interested in the subject matter. But if it's on live, I'll tune in while I'm doing something else and kind of like get the other side's opinion and take on stuff, which I find to be really useful too.
Well, so I think we can just stop the show now because Bronwyn is definitely addicted.
Bronwyn wins. We've answered the question.
No, actually, she'll like the rest of the show then.
Okay, yeah.
Number 2, you've deleted videos and photos of your treasured memories to make room for more podcasts.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, and apps too. I'll add apps to that list as well.
Yep. Number 3, the songs that play during your favorite podcasts are the ones you listen to most. Hey-oh, Ronald Jenkins.
I think that's definitely true here for the Jupiter Broadcasting audience because we pick some damn good music for our podcast. That's the Linux Unplugged theme right there. So, Ronald Jenkins is really the man.
I love Linux Unplugged. I thought I liked Plan B, but Linux Unplugged, man, that's bam.
Yeah. You know which one is my favorite?
Yes.
Do you have a guess?
I don't.
I'm not going to show you.
I don't know the names of them. Probably your unfiltered one.
Oh yeah, that's definitely it. Yeah, that's got to be my favorite one. It's guitar sound, and we'll usually mix it in with like a little clip. You hear it right there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was like, that's not guitar sound.
Yeah. So you hear the music builds up in the background?
Organization and training. What we're seeing is the Ukrainian police forces and military forces
builds.
are borderline incompetent.
You hear the music building?
Anything we could do to strengthen them with intelligence and
20
training and relevant light arms would probably help.
So if we give them night vision goggles and body armor, I keep saying we. I hate when I say we.
Yeah, isn't that a great song? Man, that's a good one.
Seriously.
And it's just boom.
Yep.
Sorry, I was
this
rocking.
This is not a real
too much.
show, by the way. Yeah.
I got click happy because of Ronald. Anyways, he's working on some stuff.
Yeah, this 103 Degrees is pretty epic,
This
actually.
is his new CD?
Yeah. I wonder if I can skip ahead.
Oh. Nice.
Right?
Ron's back, baby. Ron's back.
Okay.
That's nice. I like that a lot.
Yeah. So
I love some of my podcast shows music.
Yep. Number 4 is you have had a driveway moment that lasted through the end of one show and into the next.
Is that
one.
where you sit in the driveway and you don't get out of the car?
Yeah, so that you can finish it. Yeah, I actually did that last night with a song. I was listening to a song. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely. Or sometimes what I'll do is I'll like wait till I get to a really good point and then I'll pause it when I'm getting out of the truck. So that way I'm like, okay, now I'm definitely gonna tune back in. So that way I know I go back to it. So I like tease myself.
I have a reason.
Tune in to find out, that kind of thing to myself.
Yep. All right. I already read that one. Number 5, you say, oh, yeah, I heard that on a podcast every time a current event or celebrity comes up.
Hey, it's a good place to get updated on stuff because people who are really passionate about those topics are covering them. So they're often one of the first people to know about something that's going on in that community.
Yep. Do you want to turn your monitor?
Why? Oh, because it's showing up in the thing?
Yeah. Number 6, you get really excited to talk about a podcast you just listened to.
Oh, yeah. That's definitely me. I'm
that.
totally waiting to get to the part where I'm talking about some of the podcasts. I just listened to such an incredible podcast.
Yep.
Yeah.
Number 7, you know about a movie or TV show not because you watched it, but because you listened to a podcast about it.
Yeah.
And I could say that about Twitter.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I know about things because I am on Twitter.
Yeah. Like, I know about stuff that's going on live TV, even though we don't have TV service because of Twitter.
Right.
Like, oh, this is happening on TV right now. Oh, interesting.
Yep. This is a great GIF. You see the dog and the kid look at each other at the same time. It's great. Number 8, you know all the personal jokes and taglines from your favorite podcasts. I'm going to take that a step further and say that you try to implement it in real life and nobody understands what you do.
Are you talking about me?
I think you've done it a couple times.
In the morning!
I'm like, what?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's bogative, Angela. That's what I think. I think it's bogative.
Is that a word from one of your podcasts? Because seriously.
It's a podcast reference.
Bogative?
Yeah. It's bogus and
okay.
I forget the other part. Fake or something. It's bogative. Yeah, I like it.
Huh.
I kind of sticks with me.
Yeah, that's weird.
You know what? It's a really good example. I think I could be wrong, but I think that Dignation was responsible for the word jank becoming a way to describe like a piece of computer equipment. Like, oh man, that laptop is so jank. And I don't remember people really using it. Maybe it was a California thing and Dignation just sort of spread it around the rest of the world, but you remember jank coming up
Yeah. So if you go to the full screen chat room, not my face.
Oh, those guys?
There. Dream has very PG-13 put patch your shirt, calling out the tagline for TechSnap.
TechSnap, right.
Which is actually minus the R.
Right.
Not patch your shirt.
Yes, we got that.
But that's perfect.
It's negative in the freedom dimension. There's another tagline, right?
Yep.
In a sense.
Yep. Yeah, last. Number 9, you know which day your favorite podcasts come out and download it the second it's available.
Yeah, well, for sure. And I'm always like, see, the way my podcast schedule is, I have enough podcasts for like my commuting plus a little bit of sleepy time plus maybe a little laying on the couch time plus a little bit of working time. Like I have podcasts for that arrangement. And when one of them misses a week, like there's a hole that I have to fill, and like I don't know what to do with myself. Like I try other podcasts that week, but it's never the same because you went in with a certain expectation.
Number 10, podcasts have become an integral part of your routine, and it feels like something is missing when you miss one.
Totally didn't know that was coming. That's so true, though.
Yes.
Yeah, that is so true. It's like, well, what am I going to listen to while I drive this morning? I don't have my podcast that I normally listen to.
Yeah. So the other thing that's good to mention is that we try to keep ours on a regular schedule so that you can predict it.
Yeah, we want people to be able to have a routine and all that kind of stuff. It's really important, for me at least, and so we try to make that into our shows too.
Yep. Number 11, the thought of working out without a podcast to listen to is devastating to you.
I've heard this is one of the best ways. See, I don't exercise, so I can't comment on this one in particular. But, Ange, you're a big exerciser. How's that?
Well, actually, I walk.
I've
been going on walks, and I listen to music.
See, I could totally see going on a walk and listen to a podcast. And I have done that. So, yeah. Okay. I mostly do it while I'm driving. That's like or going to bed.
That's what she said.
Whoa. Yikes. All right, what's next? Number 12.
Number 12. In fact, the thought of doing most chores without a podcast to listen to is almost unbearable.
Yeah, what a waste of time.
Which is why I'm always finding devices in the kitchen while we're cooking or or doing other things like
That's true.
cleaning.
Podcast devices.
There's always something, or like, Ange, gonna put this on the TV.
Because the thing is like with podcasts, you get entertained, and you generally get a little bit of information, or sometimes a lot of bit of information. So it's like killing like 3 birds with one stone.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to add 12.5 in there and say your 5-year-old son can name the whole cast of Twit.
And he loves No Agenda.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Wow. Nice. Yeah.
Number 13.
Number 13.
And sometimes you invent things to do just so you can listen for a few more minutes. And I love this GIF. Look at this GIF. Well, first of all, the one on the left, there's a person just driving around in a circle. And the other one is somebody wagging their tongue back and forth while pretending to type on the keyboard. Like, I just need a couple more minutes of work so that I can. Yeah,
that's good. That's good. You know what I do, Ange, when I feel like I need a really good podcasting device, something to listen, something to stream, something that would let me download podcasts while I'm on the go.
I think you go to faux.ting.com.
Faux.ting.com. That's right, Ange. Go over to faux.ting.com, and that way you can save $25 off your first device. Or if you've already got a device, good news. Bring it over to Ting. You'll save $25 off your Ting service. They're going to credit you that. If you're like me, that'll last you the first month and some change.
Yep.
What's great now is because I'm really super aware of how I use my data. I use way more data than I do calls, and I use more text too, and I use a lot of Wi-Fi. So my Ting my bill is usually under $40 per month for 2 lines, because it's a flat $6 per month, and it's just your usage on top of that. In fact, if you go over to faux.ting.com, click that savings calculator and plug in your current usage, not what you pay for, because what you pay for is part of the scam. That they think they get you to go, oh, well, I probably need more than 500 minutes, so I better get the 700-minute plan, and then maybe you use 450 on average, right? So plug in what you actually use over on the Ting savings calculator. Right. Your megabytes, your messages, and your total bill, and then be amazed at the savings. Some of our people, is Rotten Corpse in the chat room right now? Is Rotten Corpse in the chat room? Because that guy would save almost $4,000 a month in 2 years, because it's just that much savings per month, and it all adds up. You could buy a new laptop. You can get a freaking Google Chrome Pixel, an out-of-date, overpriced Chrome Pixel for that savings. I mean, that's absolutely nuts, right?
Yeah, that is crazy.
And the other thing that's great about Ting, as somebody who's been a long-time customer now, is I really appreciate 2 things. Number one, they have a really good blog where they keep you up to date on what's going on with Ting, what new things they're working on. They just posted one. They talked about some of the improvements they've made to the service and some streamlining. But they also support, and you see that button right there on your screen before you turn away? You see that right there? Mm-hmm. Log in with Amazon.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They're actually now supporting paying and funding your Ting account via Amazon payments.
That's awesome.
That's really awesome. And that's one of the cool things about Ting, is they have some flexibility to play with some of these cool things. That's why they have no contract. That's why they have no early termination fee. That's why they can work on a kick-ass dashboard that makes it super easy to manage your account and saves you time, because they're awesome. They've also got a good social media presence over on Twitter, @TingFTW on the Twitters. And you can interact with them and keep up to date on they have a promotion going on right now. You find out more about that on their Ting page. They'll highlight their app picks over there on the Twitter page for Ting.
This is what I was looking for.
What you looking for?
Ting.com/remind me. If you're waiting to get out of a contract, you can put in your information and have them send you an email reminder.
Ting.com/remind me.
Mm-hmm.
And get started by going to faux.ting.com. That lets them know that you appreciate them supporting the Faux Show, and also get you that $25 credit when you do decide to pull that mobile trigger. Get out of that contract. Stop getting abused by that monopolistic mobile carrier, and join Ting by going to faux.ting.com. Thanks, Ting. All right, Andrews, let's resume, because I feel like so far these have pretty much all applied to me.
Yeah, I know. Number 14, kicking back and relaxing looks something like this. Julia Roberts in a bubble bath using a Walkman. Okay, so that's not what it looks like, but he does listen to podcasts in the bath.
Sometimes.
And every day in the shower.
Not every day. Depends.
Well, if there's a baby sleeping.
And if there's been a new episode that's just come out. If the episode hasn't been, I'm not going to listen to it. Yeah. Baby sleeping, if I want music, and if the new episode's out. But yeah, it frequently happens in the bathroom.
All right, number 15. You feel special knowing the stories behind your favorite books. Have you ever learned about your childhood books from a podcast?
I've definitely learned about things I really like from childhood. I don't know if a book is one of them.
Okay, well, they mention, and you're charmed by how self-effacing and smart your favorite writers are, like Susan Orland from on Long Form Podcast.
Yeah, I've never listened to Long Form Podcast.
I haven't either.
Yeah, that's because it's about books. And I'm not a reader. No, actually I am, but...
Number 16, your love of podcasts has also helped you form some of your most ardent political opinions.
Oh, interesting. I don't get a lot of politics from podcasts, but I do definitely try to take in different perspectives. So I think it does help me form a political view.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We got a Reading Rainbow shout out.
Yeah, Jordy LeVar Burton. That's a
Jordy LeVar.
I tell you what.
That's funny.
He'll always be Jordy to me, Angela.
Yeah. Count Zero says, yeah, I will admit to sharing a bath with my wife while listening to FauxShow reruns.
Hey!
Hey,
see, that's why some people want to listen in audio for the bathtub.
Yep.
Hey.
All right, number 17. You have cracked up in public while listening to a podcast.
Yes, I have definitely done that.
Let me tell you a situation. There I was, just put the girls down last night.
Last night?
And I hear this yokel just chuckling as loud as he can. Like, seriously, it was almost like he was competing with himself for the loudest laugh.
Oh.
And I go downstairs and I'm like, do you not, like, the kids are sleeping? And he was like, oh.
Sorry.
Yeah. Like, what was so funny? And by then, Dylan was like, what was so funny, Dad? What are you laughing at? So I don't know what it was, but you were watching something.
I tell you what, it's Ven Stone and the guys over at Linux Gamecast. They're a bunch of yokels.
Oh, funny.
I was laughing at them. Their live stream is sometimes better than their main show, and so I tuned in because I'm not normally home. At that time, I'm like, well, I'm going to watch the Linux Gamecast, and I turned on and they had some YouTube video up, some really ridiculous YouTube video that was just really hilarious. Yeah. That's what I just want to say. That's one of the things I love about podcasts too. Is a lot of times you can tune in live and see how the sausage is made. You never get to do that with big corporate media.
How the sausage is.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so Dream said that he's cried in public while listening to audiobooks.
Oh.
Which is number 18.
Oh.
And there have been times when you have had to take a break from a podcast to shed a few tears. Which obviously an audiobook is not the same as a podcast. Yeah. But yeah.
I need a moment.
Number 19, you know more about Audible, Stamps.com, and Squarespace, and so many other random companies than you will ever need to, which is true. I knew about all three of those because of Twit.
Yeah, and Audible is a big podcast sponsor, and there's a lot out there. And really, in a way, though, those are sort of like, I hope those are the companies that podcast listeners patron the most because they are keeping a lot of podcasters on the air.
Exactly. It says down here, but you don't hate because they're making your favorite podcast happen.
Yeah.
But really, who is leasing postage
meters?
I can't even
talk. Stamps.com is definitely one of the funnier ones of the bunch. It's like, okay, well, I mean, I can kind of see it. I guess.
It's great.
It is.
I used it. I mean, it's great not having to go to the post office. I hate the post office. All right, number 20. You know the joy that comes from making characters in your head to go with the stories you're hearing.
It's a theater of the mind.
Yeah, same with Audible.
Yeah,
listening to books.
That's one of the reasons I actually like sometimes audio podcasts. In fact, just as sort of a side note, right now, it wasn't always the case, but right now all the podcasts that I subscribe to are all audio. I'm not subscribing to any video podcast.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Not intentionally though.
I'll watch some of them live, like, for example, Linux Gamecast. I don't subscribe to that, but if I did, I would probably subscribe to the audio version because I listen while I'm driving or I listen while I'm doing other things most of the time. But I'll live stream video.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Podcasts have taught you some important life skills.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah,
I think Bronwyn's learned about 50 different things at least.
Whoa.
Hey-o.
Right? 51 shades of things, you might say.
No, wow. That's not what okay.
Yeah.
That works. Good. Yay, pop culture. Okay. 22. You have very strong opinions about the strengths and weaknesses of various podcast apps.
I do. I very much do. Specifically. Do you want me to name a couple of my favorites? I won't shame any. Because, podcast apps, it's like different workloads for different people. But I got two. I'm going to give you my Android pick and then my iOS pick. So let's start with the one that I use on my Nexus 5, and that is Pocketcast. There's a lot of good ones for Android, actually, from Shift Jelly. Not only do I like
Shifty Jelly, right.
Not only do I like Pocketcast because the UI is really good, specifically like just for using while driving and stuff like that, but they also do server-side feed refreshing. So that means when you open the app on your Android device, everything's immediately updated. You don't have to sit there and wait for your they have whatever it is, whatever the phone is, iPhone, Android, whatever it is. You don't have to wait for it because they also have Pocketcast for iPhone, I guess. You don't have to wait for it to go out and refresh each feed individually. They do it for you and they present it with you immediately. Now, iOS specifically, and this one's great because I use this on my iPad, is Downcast. And what's cool about Downcast is if you have a Mac too and an iPhone and an iPad,
which I think Bronwyn might. And she's saying that she is too lazy to use anything other than iTunes.
Well, here's the nice thing about Downcast. It will sync your playback position between all of them and which ones you've downloaded and haven't downloaded.
Oh, that's good.
So you can listen on your phone, and you get home, and you can finish it up on your iPad or your Mac.
Just like Kindle.
So I use this right now on my iPad, and it doesn't sync with Pocketcast. But Pocketcast also offers some syncing between Pocketcast devices. But if you're on the iOS or a Mac, Downcast is great. And the other thing that's nice too is when you add a new subscription in one, it'll add it on the other too. So that's kind of nice.
So
Pocketcast will do that as well.
Count Zero says that Pocketcast is good but not free.
Probably. I mean, for something that I use like this, I don't mind paying a little bit of money.
Right.
I mean, that seems totally reasonable to me.
Because it's a one-time thing.
Well,
not
yeah,
a subscription, right?
Yeah, and I don't think it's that much.
Yeah.
I'm sure they probably have Pocketcast for Android. Let's go look. I'm sure it's probably not. Oh, they won't show me because I've already bought it. But yeah, it just
that's
isn't installed.
stupid.
Yeah, I don't think there's a way to see the price once you've.
Okay.
Well, the other thing is I like Pocketcast. I like Pocketcast tablet. I haven't actually used it on the tablet for a couple of at least
$3.99.
$3.99. So that's $4. I think Downcast costs some money too. I don't remember either because let's see if I go to the App Store here on Downcast. Downcast is $2.99.
Yeah.
So there you go. And see, this is Downcast UI. I think it's pretty nice. I like it. The other thing is both these apps offer queued downloading, so that way you can wait till you're back on Wi-Fi to save yourself some data transfer.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
There's a lot of good ones.
That's actually a good service to pair with a Ting phone because it
so
maximizes
that's exactly what I do is I will queue them all up, and if I'm on the road and a podcast I'm listening to mentions another podcast, which happens all the time, I will and see Pocketcast has a great directory, so I will launch up Pocketcast, do a search, queue it for download, but since I'm already listening to a podcast, I don't need to listen to it right then, and then just when I get home, when the device reconnects to Wi-Fi, it just automatically pulls it down for me.
Wow, that's great.
Yep.
Okay, so number 23 is you feel like you know your favorite podcast hosts really well.
Yeah.
Which is funny because when we go like at Linux Fest Northwest, everybody comes up and like, hey, Angela. Oh, you don't know me, but
I know you.
You know? Yeah, you know everything about me. It happened actually at my kid's daycare. The guy, he's like, oh, hey, Angela. I'm like, hi.
Yeah.
He's like, well, you don't know me, but I know you.
Yeah.
And I was like, I literally said, okay, that's creepy. Do you care to explain what you mean?
Right. Yeah.
And
he just kind of has an awkward introduction because I ran into him in the road. Same guy. He's like, hey, Chris. I'm like, hello. And I'm thinking, are you the previous renter? Like, are you like, hi there. How you doing? I'm good. And I'm like getting in my truck. He's like, you don't know me. I'm like, I know I don't know you. Like, you don't have to tell me that. But I listen to your shows. I'm like, oh, okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. It was the same type of thing.
And then I ran into Angela today.
Yes. That's exactly what happened.
Our kids go to the same daycare. Well, that's just a small world.
It's cool, though, too.
Yeah. All right. You've evangelized to your friends about how many great stories are out there waiting for them.
There's a whole universe out there.
Yep. Old people think you're some kind of computer genius for listening to podcasts or helping them download them. Number 25. And the final one.
Okay, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen.
26. But really, you've got something in common with past generations because you can get into the pleasure of listening.
I do feel a little bit like that. Like, and to me, too, one of the things that's nice is, sometimes I'll take my phone and I'll just go lay down on the couch and lights are off. And I'm not getting light in my eyes. So it makes me sleep better.
No light pollution.
And I can just rest, but I can still listen and think about what they're saying and, be entertained. And it's a lot like old time radio, I suppose.
Yeah.
And I think, me too. Like I'm kind of drawn to old time radio too.
So I have number 27.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
What is it?
Don't go to my screen.
Okay.
It's
I won't look.
Your wardrobe consists of mostly Jupiter Broadcasting gear. Hey, what?
That's definitely us today.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm pretty sure I have a sweatshirt for every single, except for the TechSnap 100, which we didn't put on a sweatshirt, but I have a sweatshirt for all of them.
We have a lot of swag these days, which is good for us because we need to get dressed.
Yep. We need to get dressed.
Now, can we talk about a couple of my favorite podcasts? Are you ready, or are we gonna do something else first?
Well, while we are on that,
on the shirt topic, we should probably mention.
I want to mention the Unfilter.
Teespring.com/unfilter1hundy. It is a limited time, just a couple of days left for the Unfilter 100.
2
days. Yep.
2 days left. And for those of you that are swag supporters, you may have received an email saying that the payment was declined. It was not. Well, okay, it technically was. Our bank decided to shut down the card because when it tipped earlier today, Yeah, which it's not tipped anymore
No,
because
they declined.
35 transactions didn't go through.
It was fraud protection from the bank.
Yeah. I don't even know where I was going. But anyway,
well, so don't worry. We'll get it resolved.
I'll fix it tomorrow.
Yeah.
So if you're one of those people, don't worry. I've got it handled. I'll be sending out an email shortly that
I want to say, too, so that'll be taken care of. So don't worry about that, guys. Number 2 is this is going to wrap up in 2 days. I think we'll probably reach our goal because once our payment, once our order for the supporters clears, it'll go through. So you're going to get one. If you go in and order, you got 2 days left. This will probably be the last swag shirt item we do for a little while. I think we're going to take a break for a bit. Yeah. So if you want to get yourself a summer Jupiter Broadcasting swag item, teespring.com/unfilter100 while you still can. 2 days left, and then I think we're going to be done for a while. Okay.
All right. So something that you guys would be interested in are other the
other podcasts. Yeah.
The podcasts that Chris listens to, because like I said, I don't listen to them.
I want to start geeky. I want to start with Mission Log. The Mission Log podcast. It is it's produced by Gene Roddenberry's son. Gene Roddenberry is the creator of Star Trek, and it stars Ken Ray, who also does Mac OS Ken. He does some other podcasts online, and John Champion, I believe, is the other guy's name. And they are a great team together, and they've been going through every single episode of Star Trek. Well, they just got to Star Trek: The Motion Picture, which is a treat for me to begin with as a Star Trek fan. The episode before the Star Trek: The Motion Picture, so episode 90 of the Mission Log, was the first time in probably 10 years I've learned something new about Star Trek. They brought on some of the people who are working on an aborted Star Trek series called Star Trek Phase 2 that never made it to the air. They scrapped it and eventually made the motion picture. But there is a treasure trove of information, and so much of what became of Star Trek was actually originally envisioned for Phase 2, and it's really kind of been sort of this unknown quantity. Well, they brought on a couple of people who helped create Phase 2 and were working at Paramount at that time, and they just went into all kinds of really interesting information, totally new stuff that I haven't heard for 10 years about Star Trek. I mean, it was really good stuff. So Mission Log, and what is that, missionlogpodcast.com or missionlogpod.com? What is that?
Yeah, missionlogpodcast.com.
Yeah. Then on the other side, on the sort of more deep...
Over there.
on the more deep dive, like... really get a deep understanding of how events have happened. Like right now I'm listening to Dan Carlin's Hardcore History, and it is the build up to how did we get involved in World War I and World War II, and how did we get to the mentality where we could completely carpet bomb entire cities and drop A-bombs? Like, how did we as a rational people get into a situation where we could get to that level of devastation? And what Dan does is he brings you through that time and through that thinking and puts you in that universe, and he makes the past come alive, and it's so visual and it's so rich, and it's all in your head because it's all audio, but it's such a great experience. And it's dancarlin.com, and it's Dan Carlin's Hardcore History podcast. He doesn't do a ton every week because the ones when they come out are just massive, and they're hours long, and they're sometimes multi-arc series, and they're incredible. And then last but not least, if you also want another marathon, got to give a plug to John C. Dvorak and Adam Curry over at noagendashow.com, a twice-a-week podcast that is a great go-along with Unfilter and shows like that. I love those ones.
Suggested by the chat room, or preferred, I guess, Snake Eye likes graphic audio.
Oh.
Which is here, and it's a movie in your mind, which is the theater of the mind type
Theater
deal.
of the mind, yes. Yeah, those are always good. And you'll be surprised if you haven't really done audiobooks or that kind of stuff, you might actually enjoy these more, because sometimes you come up with you have better CG in your brain than they can do in the movies. Yeah, there's some good stuff there. We'll have some of these linked in the show notes as well for this episode of the FauxShow.
Yep.
All right, Andrews.
All right.
Do we have anything else, like a sack we need to dig into?
Oh, no,
like
I did not get
that's fine. I mean,
sack.
I pay for the graphic every week, but if we don't want to use it, that's fine.
No, but we do have July 6th awards.
Okay.
We want to know what your summer project is.
Or winter, depending on...
Or winter, yeah, the hemisphere.
What's your project coming up? And it could be anything from getting a new hair did to working on a barn. I mean, I don't know what you guys are doing. Maybe you got a new barbecue, but whatever it is, send us in a picture and a little description. We'd love to see it, and we'll feature it on an upcoming episode. Have you gotten many submissions?
I have one, so... And I will just cancel it if I don't get enough, so...
And that is when? July 6th.
July 6th.
So send them to Angela at JupiterBroadcasting.com. Attach a picture and a description. We want to see your summer projects, even if it's just a work in progress.
And your IRC nick.
We'll give you, include your nick. We'll give you a little confidence boost. Maybe if you're like, I kind of want to work on this, we'll send it to the Faux, and we'll we'll give you a nudge.
Yeah, right? We'll just obligate you to
it. So there you go. Solve the problem for you.
Bam, you've been obligated. All right. I think that's pretty much it. So,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, join us live next week, Sunday, right after Linux Action Show. jblive.tv. Go to jupiterbroadcasting.com/calendar. Then you can hang out in our lower third and rock like the best real estate on the screen, really. Because that's the best real estate, if you think about it.
It is.
That's where I'd want to be.
There it is.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, lower third.
All right. That's it for this episode of the Faux Show. We'll see you next week. Did you enjoy this Faux Show? Well, guess what? You can catch more at jupiterbroadcasting.com and subscribe to the weekly RSS feed.
Oh, Andrews, yeah. Oh, Andrews Faux Show. It's a faux show, yeah. It's a faux show, everybody. It's a faux show, yeah. It's a faux show, everybody.